Well, hindsight will be 2020 when we get there, but Stephen Harper's target of creating 1.3 million jobs within 5 years clearly needs a bit more closer scrutiny. That's why we've invited back prominent economist, professor, and former chief statistician with Stats Canada, Munir Sheikh. Welcome to the show again, Mr. Sheikh.
It's a pleasure to be here again.
1.3 million jobs, 5 years, no real change in policy, and the economy very fragile. Can it be done?
Let me say, if 5 years down the road, 1.3 million new jobs are created, I wouldn't be surprised, regardless of who is running the government. It doesn't actually really matter. Just given the size of our labor force and the projected growth in it over time, it is possible to have those many jobs. I guess the issue is, can one establish a target for that? And secondly, can you take credit for that achievement? My answer to both those questions is no and no. Why can you not set a target? Well, just look at what is happening to the Canadian economy this year and what is expected for next year. Forecasts are being revised down. So Mr. Harper should know that even his own budget forecast, which was only a few months ago, isn't going to come to pass, and the economy is a lot weaker. To project something happening in 5 years is really a big guess.
Yeah.
Should one take credit for it? I mean, he should know better than anybody else. He has been arguing that the reason we got into a recession this year is because of international developments. Unless he now has found a way to control those international developments, we don't know what actually is going to happen in the Canadian economy over the next 5 years.
All right, but what policy possibilities are there that could be deployed to assist in that job creation? Are lowering taxes the key to that?
Lower taxes can be helpful, but it really depends on what happens on the spending front. If you lower taxes and you cut spending, you are really not providing a stimulus to the economy, so that isn't really going to work, which of course reminds me of their main election plank, which is balance the budget and everything really is going to fall in place. I am not quite sure they've explained how balancing the budget is going to bring all of these good things. I can, for example, draw two scenarios where the reverse is true. Let's say the economy does remain weak and our budget gets into a deficit. I'm not forecasting, I'm just saying, suppose that happens. Would cutting spending to balance the budget at that time would create jobs? I would say absolutely not. Actually, it would destroy some jobs. The second issue is, suppose you were to run a deficit to spend money on infrastructure. Would that be bad for job creation with a deficit? I don't think it would be. It actually would create some jobs. So I'm a bit puzzled as to how they can keep talking about this link between balanced budgets and the outcomes for the economy without ever explaining as to what the link is between the two.
Okay, but corporate tax cuts, Stephen Harper says that's good for job creation. Lower taxes for small business. Some people have argued that can be good or bad. It might discourage small businesses from trying to grow into big businesses if there's an unfair tax playing field. What's your take on taxes, though? Can you lower taxes and stimulate jobs, or is that not a no-go as well?
Lower corporate taxes can be good for the economy if that leads businesses to actually invest the money. We are finding a situation in Canada where corporations, for reasons we don't fully understand, are not even investing their profits. So when they get these tax cuts on top of the profits, that money isn't being invested. I'm sure you've heard this now very famous term of dead money. So if we were to try to understand why corporations are not investing and try to go and fix that problem, once we have done that, then lower corporate taxes obviously are going to be helpful. But until we know what is causing that, giving more and more money to corporations without fixing that problem, to me, isn't really being very helpful. Now, there's, for example, some research which seems to suggest that you need businesses which are risk-taking, that they have strong management. Maybe that is where our issues arise, and maybe we should think about those issues.
Interesting as always. All right, Munir Sheikh, thanks for coming in. Appreciate that as always.
Thank you.